All right, so there's a little update, some stuff I'm working on for the Samurai. It's still running a Samurai 1.3 liter, and I'm looking for a little more power. From what I configure, the stock intake manifold is kind of a bottleneck and good at airflow. So I built this new manifold. It's straighter runners, slightly larger in diameter. They actually match. This is a 1.6 liter 8 valve head. They have slightly larger ports and larger exhaust valves. So I'm going to use this head at the same time. I just picked this up. I got to take it to the machine shop and have it all checked out and probably resurfaced and, you know, all the normal stuff you do for a used head. So anyway, I built this manifold. This is sized, I still have to drill and tap the holes, but this is, you know, these openings are sized for the Holley Sniper fuel injection setup that I'm running. So this manifold took a while to figure out. I went through a bunch of different ideas, and it was kind of difficult, but now that it's done, like, it'd be easy to replicate. So these are the water jackets. You know, the water comes out of the head between the ports, and so between these round tubes it's plated on the bottom and the top, and then so the coolant can come through and then come together into the thermostat housing. So I tried to set this up to where it's still going to be, this is in almost exactly the stock location. It's slightly higher, but it should be fine. I'm going to use the original hose that goes to the radiator. So I'm using a stock style radiator. It's an aftermarket aluminum one, but you know, I'm trying to keep all the parts in like original configuration, so I don't have any custom hoses or anything weird. So that's that. Not sure. The only kind of issue I'm running into is my head now has been shaved quite a bit, and so I have raised compression due to that. And I'm still running the early style dished pistons. With this one, this head looks to be in pretty good shape. If it doesn't need to be milled as far as my current head, I'm going to lose compression ratio. So I may build up another bottom end with the flat top pistons, but we'll just have to see. And then the next big thing is I've been struggling with rear brakes. Samurai rear brakes kind of aren't the best anyway. And I'm always looking to shave some weight on it. So these are Trail Tough disc brake conversion adapters. If you're not familiar with Samurais, this is a Samurai rear axle shaft. They have this small flange with this little 4-bolt pattern, and the drum is the adapter that goes from that 4-bolt to the 5 on 5.5 bolt pattern. So Trail Tough makes these adapters. These just slide on the axle, and then you can use a stock front rotor and calipers, and they build a bracket. But I want to try something different. So this is a wilwood, lightweight, like drag race style rotor. And their little aluminum hat. I've got to order some new studs that will press through this to hold the hat on the backside. And that gives it like its proper offset and everything. And it's just the way that hat's designed to be used. And then I have lightweight, I don't remember what they're called, but they're wilwood lightweight aluminum 4-piston calipers. They're going to go on there. And hopefully that should cure my my brake issues. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for a master cylinder yet. There's like a Subaru one that works well for doing 4-wheel disc brakes. I may look into that, but hopefully I can just keep the one I have. I'm not sure. When I build the caliper brackets, I'm actually going to build like a 2-position mount, so I can put 2 calipers on this down the road, so I can have a separate caliper for turning brakes. Later, when I switch the rear locker to an e-locker, right now it has a lock right, so I can't do it, but once I go to an e-locker where I can open the diff, then I can run turning brakes, which would be fun for the sand, and can also be beneficial in the rocks. You can do like kind of like a dig type deal where you have the rear unlocked and, you know, steer it full lock and grab the inside corner brake, and the car can kind of pivot on that one tire. So that'd be kind of a cool option to have. In the rocks and hard terrain, you know, the more options you have, the better. So be fun to try. And this is actually considerably lighter than the original drum. I need to weigh them and get real numbers, but it's pretty light. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. Trying to get some of the last things that have been giving me issues sorted out. I'm going to try to run King of the Hammers again this year for the 2023 race coming up here in about 4 or 5 months. Yeah, just always trying to improve this thing. I'm not sure if I've ever kind of talked about this in any of my videos, but my whole goal with the Samurai was to build a Samurai as far, you know, take a Samurai as far as possible with performance while still keeping it a Samurai. You know, it's not on 1-ton axles or Toyota axles or, you know, weird engine swaps or anything like that. I wanted to try to keep it as Samurai as possible. You know, my axles are Samurai based, but they have Sidekick center sections, so they're still Suzuki, so maybe there's a little fudging there, but it's still all Suzuki. And I'm trying to just keep it small and light, because that's really what makes a Samurai work off-road. You know, and major downfall is it's a little heavy. It weighs 2,800 pounds, and so more power is definitely needed. For what it is right now, it runs pretty good. It's you know, it's got higher compression and a little bit of head work and a cam and the fuel injection and good exhaust and, you know, all the normal stuff. I had it dynoed about a year ago when I first was getting the fuel injection set up and tuned in, and it put 68 horsepower to the ground, which, you know, sounds pretty wimpy, but when you think about a stock Samurai is rated at 64 at the crank. You know, I've got crawler gears and, you know, differential gears and bigger tires and all this stuff that really hurts dyno numbers to actually make more at the ground than it was originally rated for. I'm pretty happy with. So I'm guessing with all the drivetrain losses and everything, it probably makes about 100 horsepower at the crank. And so I'm hoping to gain, like, I don't know, if I could gain 20, 25 horsepower with this setup, I'd be pretty happy. I feel like right now, you know, anything past about 3/4 throttle really doesn't do anything. And, you know, the Holley Sniper, it's a 2GC small bore, but it's got considerably more flow capability than like a stock Samurai would have, or even a Weber. The butterflies are quite a bit bigger than even like a Weber 3236. So I feel like I'm reaching the limitation of flow in the stock manifold before I hit wide open throttle. You know, that's just kind of a gut feeling, and we'll see. I'm going to get it dynoed again once this is all finished. But just for comparison's sake, this is a stock manifold. And you can see, you know, out of the plenum, it's got one passage that Y's, and I don't know. I could see it's definitely designed to try to get as equal of mixture distribution as possible. And, you know, low end torque is probably going to be better with this one. But honestly, I'm not looking for low end torque. It's got plenty of gearing to crawl. I need more power on the top end for sand dunes, and then out in the wide open desert at King of the Hammers. That's really what I'm after. There's some big climbs in the sand sometimes there, and you know, silt and you know, other things where it just needs a little more power. And I feel like this guy's hurting me. This isn't the manifold I'm running. The one I have on the car this has all been modified. These have been opened up to fit the Holley Sniper. The bolt pattern is actually very close, but I had to weld these up and surface it and then re-drill and tap these holes. They were off about a 1/16 of an inch, I would say. So I mean, it definitely works on the stock manifold, but I'm just looking for more power. If my homemade manifold doesn't work, because you know I'm no engineer, it's all just gut feelings. But so this is a fuel injected 1.68 valve manifold, and it's a very similar design, but everything's bigger. I would have to do quite a bit of work here, but you know everything's bigger, and this is, you know, factory designed, and you know it's going to work. So if my homemade one sucks, then I'll probably switch to this guy. But I put a lot of work into this thing, so I definitely want to try it. And I feel for just wide open throttle, high RPMs, I think the nice straight runners are going to be better. And I don't know how you would really figure, but I mean, these runners are about 4.5 inches long. And on these weird wide manifolds, I'm not sure what you would consider the runner length, if it's just from here to here, or if it's here to here. You know, if it's here to here, mine are longer, which is good for torque. But if it's here to here, mine are gonna be a little shorter. You know, kind of good rule of thumb is long runners are good for torque, short runners are good for top end, high RPM horsepower. So I'm not sure where exactly it's gonna work out, but I guess we'll see. The good thing is I've already had this thing dynoed, and so I have numbers and it's all on a graph, so you can see if I lose power down low or whatever. So when I get it done, I'll post up another video of the dyno running and put up pictures of the two charts and show the difference. So anyway, stay tuned. Thanks for watching.